Good morning, everyone. I just wanted to share something with you that happened while I was praying this morning. And I'm going to title this The Lord Sows Peace. And so this morning while I was in prayer, I saw a long, high barrier that almost looked like trees, except they were very dark and very tall. And they were standing between two lands, the land of peace and the land of chaos. On either end of this long ridge, there was an angel, and they were much larger than the barrier that they bookended. But these angels had fire and salt in their hands, like this. And their responsibility was not to remove the barrier, but to provide a way for the people to move from chaos to peace. And intermittently, I witnessed these two angels cast fire and salt into the divided lands of chaos and peace. And the results were nothing short of miraculous. The fire of God brought tranquility to the chaos, and the salt, when chosen over chaos, transformed the individuals into beacons of peace and light for the people around them. When these angels threw salt and fire into the land of peace, the Shekinah glory of God was visible, and the salt caused prophecy to come forth in a volcanic-like eruption. And so the wall that stands between peace and chaos is tall and it is dark and it seems impossible to cross if we look at it with our natural eyes. But the Lord has made a way if only we will seek Him for the answer. The answer is the fire of God, which will prepare the way from chaos to peace. And we need to embrace that fire, especially when it's uncomfortable, because it will create a breach in the wall big enough for us to pass through. And I saw as well at this time that the enemy is unleashing increased spiritual chaos over communities, over countries, and over families. But the enemy is no match for our God. The salt we carry, plus the fire of God that is in us and around us, will enable us to live in a state of peace that's supernatural. And it's going to be abundant peace. So I'm going to encourage you today, do not look at the enemy. Instead, look at God and see the fire that He is, because that fire will make a way where there seems to be no way. Chaos is not your portion. Peace is your portion. And allow the fire of God to bring the visible Shekinah glory of God in prophetic eruption as you lean on the living word from inside of you. The verses I have for today are Philippians 4 verse 7, and it says, "And the peace of God, that peace which reassures the heart, that peace which transcends all understanding, that peace which stands guard over your hearts and minds in Jesus is yours." Colossians 4 verse 6 says, "Let your speech at all times be gracious and pleasant, seasoned with salt, so that you will know how to answer each one who questions you." And then Acts 2 verse 2 to 4 says, "And suddenly a sound came from heaven like a rushing, violent wind, and it filled the whole house where they were sitting. And there appeared to them tongues resembling fire, which were being distributed among them. And they rested on each one of them as each person received the Holy Spirit. And they were filled." That's the key. And they were filled. That is, they were diffused throughout their being with the Holy Spirit. And they began to speak in other tongues, in different languages, as the Spirit was giving them the ability to speak out clearly and appropriately. So I hope this word encourages you today. I'm not sure where you're at. I'm not sure what's going on in your world, but I do know that the enemy is up to some dirty tricks, but the Lord has got you covered. And so thank you so much for joining me this morning. Be blessed.